We are currently living in a time of an explosive amount of information. With new information tripling every 72 hours, there is no way that we can remember and use what we learn in school unless we keep it very small. We have also experienced a hyperinflation of time and an accelerated pace of change. The only constant thing in all of this change is our cognitive ability. And our challenge is to figure out what we can do as educators to help the next generation cope with the amount of information out there. We need to have an understanding of what these students and what these kids actually look like, what their needs are, what their expectations are, because they will become more demanding as time goes along. Let's take a quick look at the pace of change. This change happened over the course of 500 years. This change, interactive computers to blogs, 30. That's a staggering amount of change. It's no wonder that innovation with digital technologies is difficult in education. We just get an understanding of one, and a new one comes along. We are having to embrace the digital equivalent of dozens of educational technologies absorbed over the centuries in the space of a very short period of time. I'm just going to take a very short period of time to go through what I think are the top innovations from the last 5 years that are going to have a significant impact on and everything we do. Embedded devices, and by that I mean the microchip. It's in everything. It changes the paradigm of how we work and live. We can now deliver technology, or this kind of technology, to anything, any place we want to go. It certainly does facilitate mobile learning through our phone systems. Video and image search. When you upload a video to a website and you have to put in some tags, well, video and image search will now be able to find this picture from the Mars, identify the picture of a man, and tag it as the man in the moon. The capabilities of this technology will mean that we will no longer have to self-tag, which totally eliminates what is e-learning versus online learning versus virtual learning. We have new input devices. I don't know if any of you have seen these great virtual tables or multi-touch tables that Microsoft and a variety of companies are putting together. But what will this do to our collaborative opportunities where we have students sitting around a table that harnesses all of the knowledge that's available throughout the world, where they can drag and drop information to each other, put it into a personal repository for storage later on. High bandwidth to the hand is certainly something we're seeing more and more, where we can take that mobile learning and on the go have access to it 24/7. We now have access to the internet wherever we are, as fast as what we would have it plugged into a desktop or PC. Web services and mashups. So this is a program called Google Maps. Let's suppose that I decide I want to move to Malaysia. I can click on Google Real Estate Search, and I can choose any type of house listing I want, and I can look at either the current map view or I can choose Malaysia. I can choose the price range of the house that I want to purchase, and I could search. There's the real estate listings. It takes two services, the real estate listing service that I can access electronically, locally, and regionally, and combines it with a mapping utility. I can also do this with any other kind of application that Google Maps has set up as a mashup. So it's basically combining two services. And in fact, the presentation I'm giving today is really what I would consider to be a mashup. It's taking ideas from educators and theorists in the field of online learning and virtual learning from different presentations and places that I've been in, conversations I've had, and putting them all into one bucket. That's actually how we learn. We take ideas from multiple places and we put them into a bucket and synthesize them ourselves. What mashups do is they allow the individual to customize the web application, to combine them in a way that they otherwise could not. Collaboration, I think, is one of the single most important innovations of our time. And I'm going to share with you two stories about how collaboration has happened around the world. One is about the London bombings in 2005, and one about a company called Goldcore in Canada. Self-publishing. All you need to do is log on to Blogger, get yourself a blogging username and password, and away you go. And everybody around the world can read your thoughts. Or maybe you'd prefer to be in media. YouTube is a great place to start for that. Gaming. Gaming and simulations are becoming a substantial part of training and teaching and learning as well. This is a simulation for pre-medical students and ambulance drivers to learn how to use different tools through a simulation. Based on the choices they take, the program takes them in the direction based on that choice. Now, I know we all would not want our doctors to have just practiced on a simulation. That would be very bad. But it does give students an opportunity to do some practice ahead of time. Performance support, and by that I mean better search tools. The biggest revolution in training is going to be access to the information that I need, and I can quickly locate that information. But I think probably the most important innovation in the last 5 years is what's called the Web 2.0. It's important to understand what the Web 2.0 is because it will be the thing that will have the most impact, in my opinion, in education and in the next coming years. It's probably best thought of a learning network. It connects our home, our personal lives, our work lives, and our leisure time. Allows us to integrate all of these tools in one particular source. It's characterized by user-generated content that's created from everybody. Flickr.com, you can upload your videos and share them with the world. In Web 2.0, you post the pictures and you share them with everyone. The difference is between the push and the pull. In Web 1.0, you push out your content. In Web 2.0, people pull your content. people go looking for it. Individual production and user-generated content, data on an epic scale, more data than we'll ever know what to do with. Globalization is kind of a blend of two English words, globalization and localization, making global information available to local social contexts and giving people the flexibility to find, organize, share, and create this information in any way that makes it meaningful to them. A lot of people have said that Web 2.0 is about an attitude, not a technology. And in fact, there are so many definitions of Web 2.0 that even the experts can't agree on what it is. They're all connecting information in different ways. But what is common amongst all of them is a connectivity amongst the different tools. And I think for me, that's what Web 2.0 really is. It's about connecting different technologies and being able to integrate them in a way that makes it meaningful to me. So why should we care about the Web 2.0? Well, because it allows us to do something that we've never been able to do before. It allows us to focus on education, on creativity. I think that what we do with our students is we educate them out of their creativity. Picasso once said, "All children are born artists. The problem is to remain an artist as we grow up." And I think what we need from our future generations is we need creative thinkers who are going to, excuse the cliche, think outside the box, who are going to get outside of our discipline work and look at ways in which that they can create content and solution to their own and local and global problems. Our education system is predicated on the idea of intelligence as academic ability. The whole system of education was invented in the same model as the university system to meet the needs of industrialization. The hierarchies in our disciplines were established where math, science, and language came above the humanities of social science, geography, and history, and above the arts, music, drama, dance, and visual art. And even within the disciplines themselves, there is a hierarchy. Music is seen as a much more academic discipline than dance, drama, and visual art. And the reason we did that was because we told our children, don't do music, you can't work at it. I would say today that that is in fact not true. By using the technologies of Web 2.0, there are all kinds of niche artists popping up all over the place, mashing up services from music, MP3s, combining them with local artists' work, and creating visual displays of multimedia and being paid for it. We cannot afford to go on ignoring the factor of creativity in education. In the next 30 years, according to UNESCO, more people in the world will be graduating through education than since the beginning of history. How are we going to help our children differentiate themselves? How are we going to help them find their niches? Suddenly, degrees at the high school level in particular and at the university level are really not worth that much. We are in a period of academic inflation. What makes you unique? We have to rethink the fundamental principles on which we are educating our children. We have to look at the gifts of the human imagination, the creative capacity that our children have, and we have to educate the whole being to face the future. Our job is to help children make something of themselves. We are seeing education come about in all walks of life. Government, learning, commerce, business, science. We're seeing it around the globe. We need to prepare our children for these experiences. On July 7th, 2005, at 8:05 a.m. in the morning, the city of London, England, came to a standstill as 4 synchronized bombs exploded in its transportation system. 18 minutes later, this entry appeared in Wikipedia. Within minutes, other community members were adding additional information and peer editing the text. By the time North Americans woke up, hundreds of users had joined the fray. At the end of the day, over 25 users had created a comprehensive 14-page account of the event that was much more detailed than any single news corporation could have provided. Wikipedia is an example of peer production. These users demonstrated that thousands of dispersed volunteers can create fast, fluid, dynamic, and innovative projects that outperform those of the largest and best-financed corporations. This technology harnesses the power of mass collaboration. This is Rob McEwen. He is was the CEO and president of a company called Goldcorp Incorporated. They were a small Toronto gold mining firm, and they were struggling. The gold market was contracting, and most analysts assumed that their 50-year-old mine in Red Lake, Ontario, was dying. Very few of his colleagues thought he could do the job that he was assigned to do. He sat them in a room and said to them, "We're going to find gold on this property, and we're not leaving this room until we do." By the end of the meeting, he'd handed over his geologists $10 million. They did some test drilling. They found rich deposits of new gold, but after years of searching, they could not find the exact location of the gold. Frustrated, he took some time off for a personal conference, and his personal choice of conference was MIT. He sat in on a conference. Keynote presenter was Linus Torvald, founder of Linux, and he talked at this conference about how he let his code out to the world, how he open-sourced it and shared it with everyone around the globe. Rob thought to himself as he was flying home on the plane, that's it. If we can't find it, maybe the rest of the world can. Upon returning, he said to his colleagues, put every speck of data we have on this mine, put it on the website, and let's offer a reward. The company offered $575,000 for information that led to the actual location of gold. They found from geologists, mathematicians, graduate students, military people, they were able to come up with 110 locations of the Red Lake mine through this competition that was available online that yielded 80% more gold than any site they had found in the mine previously. They went from a $100 million company to a $9 billion company. That's an example of mass collaboration. They took the power of people from around the globe and were able to create something that they could not have created without those brilliant minds. And we're seeing companies like Procter & Gamble, IBM, export their R&D, their research and development, to the rest of the world. Can you help us solve this problem? And I think that that is what makes the Web 2.0 and the innovations of today so very powerful and so opportune for our students today.